going to get this out, put this in a couple of the groups. Sorry that the lighting's not the greatest. Um, Hopefully this won't ruin it. So that might make things a little bit better. Hey, good morning. Good morning. I'm sharing to the groups right now. And then, where is Better Nation? All right. So I am not at my house today, as you guys can probably tell. I've got some appointments I got to take care of today. So I am what they call down the hill. So yeah, I'm back in the LA area today, but had an appointment. Something I've been putting off. Trying to get the stand up on this thing. There we go. So there we are. Yeah, so taking care of some appointments on stuff, and figured I would just come down with some friends for a couple days, and we're gonna go see some sights. Um, I have to get posted onto my YouTube channel the form letter, my draft for Amanda Martin. But if you're in the Facebook Shady Bunch group, it's already posted there. I did that yesterday. It's been a crazy week for me. I've just been doing a whole bunch of stuff, good stuff, but that's why y'all haven't seen me. But I'll probably do a live stream. I'll do today's, and then I'll do one tomorrow. Hey, good morning, Mercedes. I'm I'm doing okay. I hope you're doing well. It's just been busy. Uh, yeah, it's funny. I got stopped this morning about Glory being a service dog. It happens. Uh, don't get upset about that stuff. People have the right to ask the question. So, but they were respectful. So that's all I can ask. I got to reach out to her trainers because her trainers are down here. So might get her over to see the trainers. Yeah. So I was out late last night because we came down here and then we went up and did some stuff. So I was out late, and so I slept in this morning. I'm on. This is still my first cup of coffee, but it's staying warm. But I've been neglecting you all, so I wanted to I wanted to get on and do a live this morning, and you'll probably get one from me tomorrow as well. Um, I don't know about Sunday. We'll see. All's going to be how things play out. I am looking at things because I've got my appointment today, and I am looking at other stuff to do down here. I was thinking about hitting up the Getty Museum, uh, pretty famous museum, over there in Hollywood. Was thinking about maybe checking that out. Uh, I hear the aquarium down in Long Beach is really nice as well. So maybe do some of that. Uh, I'm actually I'm scoping out. So for those of you who haven't heard, we in a little bit over a month, June 9th, we're doing a comedy event up aboard the USS Iowa. That's in the uh, that's in uh, the Long Beach Harbor. So we're going to be doing right on the deck of that. Weather is great to visit the Green Bell in San Pedro. That's actually a really good idea. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Um, and see, it's stuff like that that I enjoy history stuff. I don't mind the Hollywood stuff. Like I'll go see hey, here's where this was filmed. I'll go see that stuff. It's okay. It's got to be a movie I like though. Um, but yeah, so we were talking about maybe Long Beach. uh, maybe the Getty, maybe a couple museums or anything. So we'll see. So any suggestions you all have? But the Korean Bell, I do like that. That those are the type of things that like I'm into. Like the trendy stuff, not really my thing. There, I did find, and I'm gonna take my parents to it. There's a in Buena Park. There's a place called the Cauldron, which is like a Harry Potter themed bar kind of like thing. I will take them to that. That'll be a cool thing. But I'm always looking for like cool stuff to take them. Like uh, my mom gets into a lot of true crime stuff, so a couple years ago when they came here, they wanted to see where the O.J. Simpson murders took place at the house on Bundy. So we went by there. They saw all that, and my mom was glued to that trial. So a year and a half watching nonstop. I got so tired of it. But when they came out here, she was like, "No, I want to see where that happened." So we drove by and we took a look around and whatnot. If you're in danger, climb down to Sunken City. It's just across the street from the Bell. You need to be careful going down the cliff. I'm not a cliff. I'm not a climber, but I will look into that. I will. Uh, but yeah, my mom wanted to see the house on Bundy, so we went by that. Um, I also took them by uh, where the LaBianca murders happened from the Manson family. So I think this next time I might take them to a place called Pink Coyote, which is where um, Sebring and Tate, where they had their last meal before they were murdered, and maybe show them where the house on Celio used to be. That's tore down. I've been by that before with another friend, um, but I find a lot of that stuff pretty interesting. So we might go by that. We'll see. But yeah, any suggestions, things in and around the LA area? I'm a bit cheap, so I I don't know what I'll spend money. But then again, if it's like no, this is a once in a lifetime thing, I do will spend the money then. I just ordered a free smartwatch from Life Safety Consultants and CH News in Hamilton, Ontario. It will be here in 2 years or 2 days. Sorry. So you get a free smartwatch. Is that a Canadian program? Um, that's pretty cool. If that's a Canadian benefit, man, that's pretty cool. They do some things like that, like here, where like you know, they give people phones. I'm trying to get my city, and I wish more cities did this. Okay, it's for the disabled. Perfect. Um, yeah, I'm trying to get my city because there's a lot of poor people in my city. It's considered economically devastated, and a lot of people they um, they get free phones from the government, uh, which everyone should have access to the internet and stuff like that, and having a phone, especially for like homeless people, is a way for them to for friends and family to stay in touch with them. So what I'm trying to get my city to do, and I think this is also very business friendly, is to do free Wi-Fi through the city. I'm not talking like fast as the fastest. It shouldn't be so fast where you can like play video games on it, but just for basic Wi-Fi, people being able to check email, be able to stay in connection, I think is a great thing. Um, we're in an area where there's a lot of old people um, who don't really use the internet for like streaming and stuff like that. So I think offering that as a basic service, a free service, I think it, it does a couple things. Right now, homeless people, wherever there's free internet, you'll see them kind of congregate outside, and that leads to problems. So if you had it citywide, you don't get them congregating for that reason. They still might congregate, but for other reasons, which you can then address. Um, so it does limit the potentiality for that. It also means, their families can get in touch with them. I can't tell you how many times we have missing people in the desert. Um, and that's the other thing in Joshua Tree. People go missing all the time, all the time. There's horrible self service out there. So having that where you can have a better access to where tracking someone's phone, if they go missing, you can be like, okay, well, we know exactly where they were. You're not trying to triangulate and say, well, they were between here and here. It's none of that. You know exactly where they're at. You need a new one, has SOS. I used to have a smartwatch and it started really messing up on me, so I got to get another one. But I'm not. While I do have an iPhone, I'm not an Apple guy. I don't like most of Apple's products. Uh, iPad, iPhone. That's about it. I don't like the Apple smartwatches. The one I had, I bought used. I didn't pay a lot for it, but it was a Fossil, and I really did enjoy that one. I still have it, but it's problems, and I've tried to update the firmware. Maybe I'll try it again, but yeah, not exactly the world's best. I liked it, especially when I was on the Warriors cruise, because I was able to set that to the ship's time, and then I disconnected it from my phone and everything. Because when you, for those of you who don't know, when you take a ship and you're going through multiple time zones, they always have the ship's time centralized, and they'll be like, okay, the ship's time is this. This is the time that everyone should synchronize to, and that we're going off of. But when you get off the ship and you go into, as we went into Mexico, your international plans and stuff, try to update all your stuff. Well, I always had ship's time on my watch, and I didn't have to worry. So it's just a quick travel tip. I might take some videos. I'm gonna try to start doing veterans travel blog stuff. So I am gonna try to do that. In fact, if I do go to Long Beach, I'll probably stop by Seal Beach and take some pictures and show their amenities. Uh, I've got to start really focusing on editing all my videos. That's one thing for sure. I got to keep an eye on the what's the percentage of charge for this thing because I didn't put it on the charger last night. Bought my charge 2 years ago, and I really do recommend them to everyone that is very active. I'll take a look. I'm not the most active person. I don't. I'm not sedentary, but I'm not like everyone around me is like, let's go hiking. I'm like, yeah, the Marine Corps ruined fucking hiking for me. Like when you throw over 80 pounds on your back and you walk over 10 miles, hiking doesn't become the funnest thing ever. So I liked an analog watch back in the Navy. It was also before cell phones were so popular. I've got some really nice watches from when I was overseas. I bought several nice ones, but they're so nice that I only like to wear them for special occasions. So I do have a nice little watch collection, but I'm also protective of it. I'm always active with mountain climbing, hiking, and camping. Um, I don't mind camping, and the other thing is I did buy a mountain bike, and I do because I've got problems with my back where I like to run. I've always been a runner, but I do because my feet and my issues with my ankles. I run differently, so it does cause me pain if I'm running consistently. So I'm thinking I'll just start riding my bike, you know, because I enjoy riding my bike. I really do. So yeah, and that's probably better for me. Low impact. If I had a pool, I'd be swimming a lot. I do love to swim. Uh, I do want to check out Seal Beach if I'm down there because they have a campground that's military and veterans. If you have a trailer, if you like to camp, going around to the different bases is um, like it is a benefit. There are some nice campgrounds. 29 Palms, we have a nice one aboard the base. There's other campgrounds out in town that are closer to Joshua Tree Park, so only like people who also want to visit the base really use it. Um, but you know, Pendleton has a campground over near Lake O'Neill. Seal Beach has one. I really want to start looking at the Navy ones down in San Diego. They've got some nice ones. Also, maybe go up to like Port Magoo or maybe not Lemoore. Well, maybe Lemoore, maybe. Um, but I've considered getting a teardrop trailer. Um, but I've also wanted to get a van. So if I were to get a van for Veteran Nation and take this show on the road, you'd see me staying in a lot of those military installation campings. I love camping at bases. That's what we do. My husband and I love it. Awesome. Wish they would open up all those military campgrounds to all veterans, not just active retired. They are open to veterans. They are. Um, yeah. As a veteran now, if you get your veteran ID card, you are able to shop at the commissary now. Able to shop at the exchange. You can shop at the exchange online. Um, and yeah, you can take advantage of a lot of the MWR stuff, and that's why I want to go to Seal Beach and check it out because I do know that they have. Because see, I'm not active or retired. I am still technically a reservist. I am IRR. Um, in fact, I'm kind of waiting with everything happening. I'm waiting for them to send me a letter to activate me. That I'm already seeing that happen to veterans. So uh, you might see me back in uniform. 100% disabled, but not average veterans. I've looked into it. No, average veterans can go now. Whether or not they can go in the campgrounds, that I'll have to look into. But I do know you can come aboard the base. You can shop at the commissary. They've changed all that, and a lot of that is because they were starting to lose money. Um, like my brother, he's not 100% disabled. He's gone to the commissary. He's bought stuff from Exchange Online. So yeah, they've relaxed a lot of that stuff. 100% disabled is still for space A travel, and space A travel is still CONUS, so you can't fly OCONUS or other than CONUS. If you take your DD 214 Part 4 to your state and federal parks office, they issue a parks pass. Yeah, I do have. So the federal parks do the parks pass. For here in California, you do have to be. Um, it's I believe it's 70%. It's either 50 or 70% disabled to get a state parks pass. I do have my state parks pass. I've had that. I was 75% years ago. Um, and because I was married military years ago in South Carolina, I still have my military D for 18 years ago. I just renewed my state status. Nice, nice. The you get the next government emails. Yeah. Um, so I don't believe it's a set policy like on the campgrounds. It is area by area. Here's another thing, Eric, that they're doing. They're allowing veterans to move into base housing because again, there's so many there's so many military people who have problems with base housing that they've all moved out in town. They have the right to. So base housing was empty, so they're letting veterans stay in base housing. Secretary of the VA just released a new pass system on Earth Day. Nice, very nice. Um, I still have a government checking account in Paris Island. Mission Control. Hey, good morning. Welcome. I got the National Parks Pass for free, but it doesn't do much in Texas or much for camping, just entry. Um, yeah, I haven't stayed at any of the national parks yet. So, we've talked about doing stuff, but we just haven't done it yet. Um, but they also do it for over 60 too, for the national parks. You get the discounted camping I think it's over the age of 60 because my parents get it. So yeah, they are opening up a lot of the benefits to veterans. It's slow going, very slow going, but they're realizing, oh, there's money in it. Like you as a veteran now, you can play golf on the military installations. I'm trying to get a veteran who's a big golfer. to start doing reviews of the military golfing install, military golf courses for me and for the channel. But I a lot of veterans do things at their own pace. I can't, I have to remind myself I can't. I can try to help people. I can't. You can lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink. Um, Glory's up on the couch now with me. I use my government checking account for my grandchildren to save for their college. Oh, that's good. That's I just found out yesterday. I'm going to call Navy Federal because I found out if you use, they have a thing called active duty checking, and I know you're like, well, I'm not active duty. That's just what they call it. So if you were married to a military member, you can get a Navy Federal account, and then sign up for active duty checking. But they do, like, for any of this, like if you buy bonds, they increase the percentage they pay out by 1/4%. And if you do any type of loans, like I financed my car through Navy Federal. Um, so I've now got to look into this active duty checking because they take 1/4% off of your loans. So I'm looking at doing that, and it's always been my point to, with the house I bought, to pay it for living it for obviously the 6 months that the VA home loan requires, which check that mark in the box. I've already been in there 6 months. Um, but I wanted to go a year and then refinance and get my payment lower. And after that, I was, it's my intent to transfer the deed and everything over to my company and use, then I'd move out of my place after fixing it up, rent it out, and then now my company has an asset, a cash generating asset, and then buy another place and rinse and repeat and do that to build wealth. So I might use Navy Federal's active duty checking to get a lower interest rate on my house. People were like, "Oh, you're crazy for buying. Interest rates are too high," and they were high when I bought. They've already come down a little bit, and they're going to come down again. But I didn't care because I could afford the payment, and I could factor it into my budget. And if interest rates go down, which I'm betting that they are, um, I just save money. I just save money. Um, so my budget has room to grow. So that's why I did what I did. Um, so yeah, those are the big things. I'm going to retweet out this live. See, I'm getting better at this stuff. I'm getting better at this stuff. Okay. I've got some people that on Twitter, we're kind of retweeting each other, so I got to make sure I send it to that group. So there we go. In fact, I might be joining a Twitter space tonight with one of the guys. His name is Joe Lemieux, and he does a show called Night Court Night Court with the Night Crew, I believe is the name. I put a thing out on the YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, he gave me a promotional bumper, and I pushed that out. Really nice guy. He also he's got a guy, Wayne, that he works with, who's a really nice guy as well. And I was like, look, let's just promote each other, and do this. So it's good when you get people who come together. I'm all about promoting people, but you get those who only want to self-promote. Like, they want you to promote their stuff, but they won't help you with your stuff. So I'll give people a chance, and if they're promoting my stuff, I'll promote their stuff. But if they don't promote mine, I'm like, okay, I see what you're about, and I'll just kind of just kind of go my own way. But like some people, like I tweeted some stuff out and I sent it to a bunch of people who I've interviewed, and Ron Coleman, who he was Trump's attorney. I've had him on the show. Very interesting guy. We've traded some DMs about what's happening in Israel and all these protests, and we talked about that stuff. Well, I sent him yesterday. I did a YouTube short about it, and I did a tweet about it, and he retweeted the tweet for me. So I'm very appreciative for the promotion because he's got a way bigger following. But pretty much, what's happening is the U.S. military is building a. I shared your links on Discord when you went live, Skipper. Thank you so much, Eric. I, you know, make sure you're keeping me. When I see you go live, I do try to share out your stuff. I do also try to come in and make comments. That's for YouTube and Twitter. If you make comments, that helps. Whoever is streaming, that really helps their stuff. Because that's my Twitter is at Real Vet Nation. So I'll put it. I'll put it in the thing. It is, I believe, in my community tab too. I know I've got my link tree posted, and it's in there as well. Here, I'll actually show you guys what my account looks like, so you can know it's me. So at Real Vet Nation, and that's what my Twitter looks like. So, and if you follow me, make sure my DMs are open. Make sure you add me so I follow you back. I don't follow back bots or spam or anything like that, but if real people, happy to follow back. So yeah, and Eric, I want to make sure I'm sharing your stuff too. But when I do see it, I try to comment, I try to share it. And as Eric, as I've told you, if you want to use my restream to share out your stuff, you're more than welcome to it. Just need to see you online more with Discord, Skipper. Wondering if you want to help putting together a Veteran Nation Discord. I won't be doing a Veteran Nation Discord, only because I do have a Discord account. Only because I've got a Telegram, I've got Instagram, I've got YouTube, I've got Twitter. I don't need to pick up any more social media to run. Now, if you're big on Discord and you're like, look, I want to do a Veteran Nation Discord, by all means, run it. I'll happily be a member. I'll contribute. I don't get on Discord often. I do get on there. I check things. I used to be on there a lot more. I was in some active Discords that got shut down. And just like how I used to be very active on Reddit. And when they started shutting things down, that's when I'm like, okay, well, you're shutting the content that I enjoy down because you don't agree with it. You're telling me you don't want me here. So I tend to move on. I'll still go on to Reddit. I'll still go on to Discord. But I'm just not as active on there. I do think Discord is a great organizational tool. I really do. So Kevin the Angry Vet, as some of you may know, Eric was in on that conversation. We had a live that we did here, and Kevin wants to start a nonprofit. He wants, certain goals, and I think for something like that, I think Discord is amazing for coordinating on. Reddit is a cesspool. Yes, it is. Reddit and Twitter are a cesspool. It's a lot of trolls. I do love Twitter for a long time. I was starting to move away from Twitter, and then when Elon bought it, I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. It has gotten better. It's not as good as what it was like in 2010 to 2012. It was amazing. Like just being able to go to a celebrity and just being like I remember when Alec Baldwin was doing all his crazy stuff. Back then, I was like responding to him, and I'm like, dude, you're a complete and total piece of crap. And there were people I had responses to, but I keep losing my accounts on Twitter, and I'm not angry about it because I have my circle of friends on Twitter, and we've got Telegram and we've got Instagram. So now when they take away one of my accounts, I just go to there and I'm like, hey, here's my new account. I get all my followers back, and it makes it easy for me to grow. That I'm now up to, hold on here, I'm up to 2315 followers. And look, Chris, if you want a shout out on Twitter of me to say, hey, everyone, follow Chris, I'm happy to do it. Same thing. If you have anything that you're like, hey, DM me a tweet, be like, retweet this out, happy to do it. I also have big accounts who follow me and who I've sent stuff to and just said, hey, would you please retweet this? And they're happy to do it. So I'm all about that because with Twitter, the mistake people make on Twitter is they like things. You, if you like things on Twitter, you're not going to grow because the algorithm sets the likes up. Like you have to have certain criteria for the likes to be seen. But if someone retweets you or if they comment, it automatically puts you in the timeline. It breaks the algorithm. So you should always comment and retweet people's stuff. I like to comment and then quote tweet. So that way I know people, they're seeing my stuff and they're seeing whoever I'm retweeting stuff. Okay. You gonna send me a thing on Twitter? Great. Yeah, you know, I got my thing open here. Um, Kevin and myself are waiting for your React vids. Yeah, I know. I got to do my React videos, and I've got to um, I've got to. Oh, I just see you following me, Chris. Here, I'm following you back. Oh, Mercedes, I see you. I'm following you back. Um, Here's one thing I'll say about my Twitter. My Twitter is where I'm the biggest a hole. So if you can follow me on Twitter and enjoy my tweets, you you'll follow me everywhere else. I do troll a bit on Twitter, and I'll do shit on Twitter that I won't do anywhere else. But any of you, I don't care what it is, even if it's something I don't agree with. If you send it to me and say, hey, tweet this out or retweet this, I will. I don't care. But it doesn't, it takes a second of my time. And, especially with, wanting to get people to grow. Um, Here, in fact, um, I, let me do a tweet right now for the two of you. Okay. Okay. So here's what I'll do. Everyone follow my friends at Mercedes. I get you're not coming up in my thing. Hold on. I gotta look up your at name, Robin. Mercedes Benz 81. Okay, and then C stock. Okay. Sorry. And C stock. Okay. Everyone, follow my friends. And then I'm going to hashtag this support squad. Oh, and hashtag turn 22 to 0. There we go. Got you guys a retweet out there. Hopefully, some of my followers follow you. Um, but yeah, always feel free to send me something if you need it highlighted, or and also if you're like, hey, put this out on this or put this out on this, just let me know. I'm fully willing to do that. This is this channel, this nonprofit. It's not about me. It's all of you all. So I don't mind doing stuff like that. Um, okay, yeah. So yeah, Joe, he's already retweeted the live, so we'll probably see a lot more people jump in here from Twitter. Uh, and if any of you want in my retweet groups, let me know. The only rule I have is if I add you to a retweet group and someone puts a tweet in there, you have to retweet it. That's it. But by doing that, it creates more engagement for all of us. Uh, so yeah, that's I'm getting a bunch of notifications now. Uh, but yeah, stuff like that, like that's the benefit of social media, and there are so many people who are so protective. Like I, like I'll help anyone if they're helping other people. You know what I mean? I did a reply tweet the other day because someone was like, "Oh, hey, let's help my friend get over 20,000." Once you start learning about these algorithms, like with YouTube and with a lot of them, 5,000 is the magic number. So if you get over 5,000, like they put you in the recommendations and stuff. They put you in front of people in regards to camping, homelessness type issues. I caught a video regarding the recent SCOTUS, Grants Pass versus Johnson. I saved the video to a camping playlist. So I did see something. So you, because you did that, it might have ended up in my recommended because I did see something about Grants Pass versus Johnson. It was argued, yeah, just before Supreme Court this week. Chris, warning, my tweets can be sometimes funny and drama. Aren't they all? Aren't all the tweets funny and drama? But yeah, I had someone, they pushed out, hey, help my friend get over 20,000. If you're over 5,000, Twitter is going to push your stuff. They will push it. You don't need help. If you need help with 19,000 followers, it's just because you're not interesting enough. Um, you know, you got to start thinking about interesting. But if you have 1,000 followers, they're not going to push your stuff. You have to fight for followers when you're that low. Uh, Me at 2,300, I'm halfway there to the magical 5,000. I'm over halfway there, um, and you know, I'm confident I'll get there. Uh, I've always this account. I think we started in June, so it hasn't even been a year. Waiting to hear back from Army or crew member to pick up his thumbnail for today's show. Pick up a thumbnail. Oh, pick his thumbnail. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Cure for dyslexia, or dyslexia for cure found. um, but yeah, I don't take Twitter seriously at all. I do a lot of trolling on there. So, but if you can stand me on Twitter, you'll stand me anywhere. That's the only place I'm a huge a hole. Uh, did you guys see that video where the guy he comes out of the doctor's office and it's his wife and she's filming him and he's walking across the parking lot and gets in the car and he goes, "You're in trouble." And she's like, "Why? What the doctor said?" And he said, "You have to give me sex daily." And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Right here." And she looks at the thing, she goes, "This says you have dyslexia." It's all about having sense of humor. Oh yeah, I being in the drama community, I'm always getting in trouble. Good trouble though. It's not all bad drama. Yeah, you know, I've had people get mad at me for stuff, and it's like, that's what you got mad about? Like I had a guy coming at me this morning in the Shady Bunch group, and this is posted in Shady Bunch this morning. So I don't know, maybe he's watching, but he was like, he had a problem with the. I did the second draft of the thing about Amanda Martin, and he just was pretty much telling me I shouldn't get involved. And I'm sorry, that's not me. I'm, as a veteran, I fought for people to have rights. If I see those rights being violated, that's corrupt. I will fight against it. People are sissies anymore. And I was like, I told the guy, I was like, look, you're wasting my time and everyone else's time. Then he was like, oh, is your ego bruised? I'm like, you're replying to me. I didn't come to you. You came to me. Um, and quite literally, I posted the draft to get people's criticism. So obviously, it's not my ego. Like, tell me where I screwed up in the letter. But if you have a problem with me writing a letter, just say I have a problem with you writing a letter and leave it alone. Like, move on. Don't keep coming at me. I really don't care. You at that point, you're wasting the time of the people who do care. Um, yeah, some people just can't. Internets. I thought this was going to be a short stream, but here we are. We're at 40 minutes already. Um, I'm in some pretty good troll groups, but I do have to. I don't allow everyone into our troll groups because we have brought people into the troll groups before who've been whiners, and we probably have a good 8 to 9 people in the one troll group, and we've known each other for years on Twitter, like probably 10 years, easy. And I mean, we say some horrible, horrible things in that group, but we all, like, even when we disagree, we're all like, okay, yeah, that's so and so being so and so, and we don't get mad. Were you the troll they were talking about this morning? Probably. That's probably me. Um, a stream is never short when you have interaction. That's true. That's true. Very true. So I do appreciate you guys all being there. Make sure you all hit the like. Um, I'll probably do some streaming later on today, whenever we go do whatever we decide to do today. I don't think Glory wants to leave the room. She's a princess. She doesn't like leaving hotel rooms. Um, it's amazing that I haven't gotten more into 4chan as much as I enjoy trolling. I do really enjoy what 4chan does, especially when they're trolling. Um, but yeah, it's amazing I haven't gotten into 4chan for that reason. Uh, I will have to probably end the stream and go down and get me some donuts before the breakfast ends. So there's 15 minutes left. Um, but yeah, if you guys want in any of my retweet groups on Twitter, I'm happy to add you. The only rule is if someone posts it, you have to retweet it. It's all about promoting each other. It's all about getting each other followers. I, if you want me to promote something, like I took Eric's Discord and I put that in my community tab of the YouTube. Happy to do that. I also tweeted it too. Watch out for Kit Kat Krispy Kreme. Right? Oh my God, the people that got mad about that, it's like, get a grip. It's a joke. Literally, it's a joke, people. Relax. Um, so, yeah, uh, people will get angry and argue about everything on the internet. And the thing, here's what they don't know about me. I'm willing to argue with them. Good morning, Jane. Yeah, I started this late. I was up late last night, so you're not asking. Yeah, I've got my one buddy Emilio. He's got like 40,000 followers on Twitter, and all he does is tweet out fight videos and say smart ass shit about it. Um, he's a really good dude. And he, like, if I need something retweeted, I just send him like, Emilio, do your thing. Um, but yeah, people get pissed at him, and like, all he does is, for the most part, is he'll just retweet it with like, you know, like, oh, it's this, and people just get mad, and it's like, he's really not doing anything. I did try to get the Dr. Pepper Peeps. See, I'm not a big marshmallow guy, so I'm not into Peeps that much. I'd probably try it. I do have some s'mores treats at the house, uh, but oh wow, hold on, I just saw a tweet that I need to retweet. Uh, yeah, I don't play around with a couple of things. Pedophilia, no. I'll highlight people with crap like that. That's I don't stand for people who, like, it's one thing if you're making a joke. Like, for those of you who don't know, I'm a big fan of Jim Norton, the comedian. He does a character called Uncle Paul. Uncle Paul is like that molesting uncle. that he had growing up, and he'll just be like, "Yay!" Whenever there's a story about like a kid, he'll be like, "Oh yeah, he's just doing a good job," like that. It's clearly satire. He's making fun of those people. I'll do that all day, but if like people who are legitimately defending pedophilia behavior, yeah, no, I don't play around with that stuff. You can take that and go. Um, so yeah, I just retweeted one about pedophilia. Um, it's Anthony Cumia's birthday today, so happy birthday to Anthony Cumia. I did respond to a tweet about that. I've always enjoyed his show back when he was on Opie and Anthony. Here's the other thing. Uh, if you want to send me sexy women in bikinis, feel free to on Twitter. Back when I started the show, in my profile, I had DM me boobs, and they made me take it out. And I was like, no one ever DMs me boobs. But it was just a funny thing. Like, they had to get used to my Twitter personality. And while I've toned down a little, it's still not much. What are you doing, girl? Dog. Hi. You want to say hello to people? Okay. Oh, you want to get in front of the camera? Okay. And lay in front of my phone. Let's see what's trending today. I was looking at that earlier. Um, Secret Service. There's people trying to stop Trump from having Secret Service. Stupid. What's the New York Times doing? Uh, okay. Oh, yeah, New York Times made a map for the protesters, I guess trying to show uh, where the Jewish students go. Yeah, pretty much they're okay. They're trying to show where people on Columbia University can disrupt things. Ba, 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 ba. If you plan on streaming from travels, you'll need more than a teardrop trailer, Class B or C. Will do you well. The Bs are modified vans, but depending on your vehicle, bumper pull. So I've got a 40-foot travel trailer that I actually lived in. Um, I don't like having the big trailers. Like living in it was fine. I would never, and I was able to experience that and learn it. I don't think I could ever deal with a big trailer. Um, for camping purposes. It's just too much for me. Um, Sorry, I'm responding to you here, Chris. So there you go. Responded to your DM. Howard Stern is trending. What is Howard Stern trending for? Is he dead? He's not relevant anymore. I There are some places that keep putting Howard Stern like, oh, Howard Stern interviewed this. It's like no one is like the only people watching or listening to that show anymore are people in rental cars. That's the only time I've ever listened to Stern anymore. Even though I wasn't a big Stern fan, but like it has been 10 years since I've talked to someone who said, "Hey, Howard Stern had this on this morning." Like people will watch him in replays. They'll talk about the old shows, but nothing relevant. Uh, Same thing with Opie from Opie and Anthony. The dude's not doing anything. He does Instagram streams. It's like, okay, no one cares. Um, Biden told him he'd debate Trump. Well, yeah, Biden says that his people would never let him debate Trump. Biden clearly has dementia. Um, his people would never let that debate happen. Never cared for Howard Stern, but Bob and Tom was kind of cool. I, you know, Growing up in Ohio, a lot of people, because Bob and Tom were right over in Indiana, a lot of people listen to them. They just laugh too much. It just got on my nerves. I did listen to them if they had a comedian I enjoyed, But yeah, it's the same thing. You know, me being an Opie and Anthony fan, people think I liked Ron and Fez. I liked Ron when he was by himself after Fez. When Fez stepped back, he was still on the show, but when he stepped back, I just found Fez annoying. Um, and when he left, I enjoyed it. But then Ron brought his daughter on, and she's worse than Fez. So yeah, I can't listen to um, can't listen to Ron anymore. I do still like the Bonfire. I still miss Dan Soder. I really enjoyed Dan Soder on it, but I do like the Bonfire. Um, I did watch Legion of Skanks there for a while. I don't get into the whole drug stuff. Um, I didn't like Legion of Skanks when they did the drug stuff. I didn't, you know, like when Joe Rogan. Okay, this is how stupid Sirius XM is. They had Joe Rogan show. They had Joe Rogan show, and when he was building his audience, they had him, and it was on Saturday nights on Sirius XM, and they got rid of it. And it's like now they look stupid. They had the biggest show in the world. You realize that Joe Rogan gets numbers today that what Johnny Carson used to get. Like no one else is getting those type of numbers. You watch the Tonight Show now; they barely get like a million people watching. Joe Rogan has like 10 million people watching every show. Johnny Carson used to sometimes get 30 million people watching a show. Bubba the Love Sponge Ned character. I'm not familiar with that character. I was never in an area where they played Bubba the Love Sponge much. Um, a couple like they brought him into one market there for a while, but I ended up moving. I think that was when I was in Michigan. And it's been a while. Um, the state of regular radio is so sad today. In fact, I have talked about someone. One thing I would consider doing, and you know, this is something you know, Eric, maybe you'd be into this. If you're a nonprofit, you can get a radio license and start broadcasting. Well, I'm out there in the desert, but we only have one local radio thing. So if I, those licenses are expensive, but they do make them cheaper. You know, that's something I've considered. Maybe you know, broadcasting this show. You know, back when me and TC get to regularly doing the show, broadcasting the show over the air, maybe also on ham radio and on here. You know, that way you can kind of expand, but doing it all completely independent. Corporate radio absolutely sucks. It is horrible. Every market is the same stuff. And it's because it's these corporate guys who just they don't want to think. Coast to Coast with Art Bell. I used to love that show. I used to, if I Art or Ed, regardless who was on it, I used to love that show. When I worked nights at UPS, and I used to listen to that when I was. I, they allowed us to wear headphones as we were loading because I was loading trucks. Um, so I used to listen to it while I was working, and then listen to it on the drive back. Art Bell was a ham. Yeah, he had ham radio. No broadcast on ham. Are you saying they don't broadcast on ham anymore? Art Bell, I really did enjoy his show. Um, uh, yeah, the FCC, what they've done with radio licenses, I think is the worst government overreach example that there is. They just decided that they owned the radio waves. And that's why I never was in favor of net neutrality. I and you still, even though net neutrality has passed, there's still an uproar that if the government tries to do things like to prevent you from going to sites, like people are like, "Oh, you think a corporation could control it?" I was like, "I don't think anyone should be able to control the internet. Not a government, not a corporation." That's my take on it. The only modern rock station here sucks. They play the same songs. Yep, that's all they do. They have 30 songs in the rotation, all of the bits, the radio bits. That's what Opie and Anthony were great. If you go back and listen to Opie and Anthony October, they used to pick different markets around the U.S. Listen to the morning show radio, and then play it the next day and just crap on it. But you would see the same bits, like literally the same jokes, because these corporate people they pay for places. They don't write their jokes; they pay for places for for jokes to be sent to them. So that's why it doesn't matter what market you're in, you're getting the exact same cookie cutter stuff. Um, no broadcast radio on ham frequencies. You might be referring to shortwave. Okay, that might be true. Yeah. Talking about I think I'm talking about the wrong radio. FCC is captured. Free market should determine. Absolutely, absolutely, it should. Um, the yeah, they used really they do all this cookie cutter stuff, and just like they're trying to appeal to masses. So when you it's like when I had Eric Dominiani on the show, and that was a really good interview. If you get a chance, go check it out. He's a chef, but he was a Marine Corps officer too, and he and I talked about how bad chow hall food was. Well, chow hall food sucks because it has really no flavor. They make it to be enjoyed by the masses, so you can't put any flavor in it. So everything is designed to be dulled out, and that's exactly what you get. So while people are like, yeah, these eggs don't taste like eggs, they taste really bland, like they taste bland to everyone. And they don't taste bad, so people will eat it, but that's why chow hall food is it's got no taste. They're trying to um, they're trying to appeal to everybody, and when that happens, you end up really appealing to nobody. So I would love to do something with radio, do like my own independent out in the desert from the compound, um, and just do it, old school freestyle. Do bands who don't have a chance to be heard on normal radio. You go on like Spotify and you listen to the people who are like the top songs. Those aren't people who, um, yeah, those aren't people who like have big record contracts. Broadcast FM AM license can get quite expensive for the church broadcast FMs during COVID. Restricted to like 5 watts, that would barely reach a parking lot. It's almost better to set up a streaming voice radio service. Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. Now, for me, living on top of a hill in a small town, I could probably do, you know, 5 watts and be okay. But yeah, the government makes it so expensive to get a radio license. And do you know how much, if they opened up and deregulated the radio waves, how much money they could make? And also think about it from a public safety aspect. You know, more channels on the radio means more information getting out there. Um, that was the whole thing with. I did a case study while I was in the Marine Corps. We talked about 5 watts is CB mobile. Yeah. But if you have a tall enough antenna and you have good line of sight, you can extend further than normal. Um, but yeah, okay, you sent me a private tweet. Okay, I'll get in there. Um, the uh, the Rwanda massacre could have been stopped by Bill Clinton. All he had to do was bomb the local radio tower because that's how they were coordinating, was via the radio. And I did that case study about how, you know, to save lives, didn't have to do a lot, just do that. Okay, okay, I got your tweet. Um, See, like stuff like this, I wonder, is there an opportunity for like people who are broadcasting their own stuff? Is there any opportunity for us all to link together and do stuff? They're afraid of information exchange. Absolutely, they are. If the penalties for pirate radio weren't so severe, I would do it. Um, but I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Everyone, thank you for being here. Please hit the like, subscribe, and share this. Uh, Everyone, feel free to DM me if you add me and you got it from the stream. Send me a DM. I hope you're transmitting on the UV5R. It's the only frequencies you're licensed for. I can try and speak to them. Yeah, feel free. I'm all about collaborating with people. But yeah, please share this, like it, and if you send me a DM, if you send me any tweets or anything, I'm happy to share it. Same thing with anything else. You want me to share out your stuff somewhere else, just shoot it to me. Twitter, Instagram are where you're absolutely going to get me right away. Facebook, I'm getting better. Same thing with my emails. I do get, put a good subject line if you send me an email so then it stands out to me. because I get a lot of spam in the Veteran Nation email because I put it out for everyone. Veteran Nation at Proton Mail. Everyone, you have a great day, and I hope you're having a blessed day. And I might be on later. Shoot me a cell call. Okay, yeah, we can talk about that. Maybe not today, but yeah, I will, Eric. I despise Facebook. I do too. I'm going to be kicked off Facebook at some point. So, all right, you all. Thank you, and you all have a great day. Take care, and as always, thank you for being worth